Hey guys, welcome. Angela and Jordan here. Give us just a couple minutes. We're just going to check and see if the Hangout is playing.
Okay,
Give us just a second. All right.
Cool. Well, I got this. I'll start off here. I'm pretty excited, folks. That's why I want to start here. So forgive me, babe. But in case you don't know, my name's Jordan Schultz. This is Angela Moore, and the reason you've been invited here tonight, there was a couple different email copies that got sent out. And actually, for that, I'm going to pass it over to Angela really quick because she's got something she wanted to share with everyone.
Yeah, it's a quick clarification / funny story. Earlier on today, I was looking in the back office, looking at our numbers, figuring out how much we paid out in commissions since we launched, which was Sunday at 1 p.m. Our time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I sent out an email telling everybody how excited that I was and that Jordan is and that we all are, that we've literally paid out over $97,000 in the past. What I said was 3 days since launch. What I didn't realize is that it's not actually been 3 days. We actually only launched this thing like just over 48 hours ago, right? And we've already paid out over $97,000 to our members. I'm super excited about that. I'll tell you why, and then I'll pass it back over to Jordan here. The next fastest growing company that we've ever seen in this industry paid out roughly $204,000, and that was after 4 days. So I was really excited. I'm like, holy crap, we're here at $97,000 after 3 days. That's great. And Jordan's like, wait, no. It's only been 2 days, babe. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So congratulations to all of you guys that are here, that are members. And those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about yet, we're going to tell you about everything that there is to know tonight, and you're going to have all the information that you need in order to learn how you can participate in this and how you can start earning these commissions for yourself. So let me go ahead and pass it back over to you, Ben, and I'll jump right into it.
Perfect. All right. So, yeah, I don't know who you got invited here by, but really what we got to do before we get into the $97,000 in commissions, and it's probably gone up by now. We've been away having some sushi dinner and whatnot. But what we're going to do here tonight is talk a little bit about what we've done over the past 90 days and really what we just launched. Was it two days ago? Wow.
2 days ago.
Yeah, really about a little over 48 hours ago. And how you can participate in the pre-launch, because folks, what we're doing, we're in a pre-launch phase right now, wherein people are getting in for just massive discounts on this awesome product line, and they're actually able to turn around and sell this. And we're seeing a lot of people making a lot of money. It's really exciting to watch. I think one of our guys actually just messaged, and he said, I believe he just crossed over the 30K mark in 2 days in commissions. And we've got a couple other people that have done $5,000, $10,000. We've got a lot of people that have earned their first couple $100 in commissions. Lots of people that have done that. Lots of people that have earned their first $1,000 in commissions and things of that nature. So really exciting stuff. But we wanted to. If you saw us on Hangouts leading up to Sunday, essentially we said we're doing an internal launch. And what does that mean? Well, let's talk about what we created 3 months ago before we get into what we actually just did a pre-launch on 2 days ago, so you can understand how everything fits together, why it all works so well, and all that good stuff. So essentially 90 days ago, Angela and I launched a company called the Freedom Fighters Network. It's so crazy to see. There's snowplows out there, folks.
Yeah, we were like in shorts and t-shirts like 2 days ago.
48 hours ago, we were wearing shorts and t-shirts. And
see how fast things can change inside of 48 hours. $97,000 can be paid out, and also you can go from wearing shorts to, wearing scarves and hats and watching snowplows.
Ski pants. And
yeah. That's earlier.
So 90 days ago, we launched this little company called the Freedom Fighters Network. And the reason that we did this, the reason that we launched this company, we really, as we were building it, we didn't know it was going to be a company, right? Let's fast forward. Let's rewind back about 9 months earlier to the time where me and Angela, at this point in time, had both been struggling to get traffic for ourselves. Right now, we've been successful in the industry for years and years and years, and we've helped different people make money online before. But rewind to about 9 months ago, well, 11 months ago at this point in time, 9 months before the time we started. Rewind to about last December or so, we were both sitting there wondering, what are we going to do to get traffic? Not only for our teams, like what are we going to teach our teams and how are we going to help them, but what are we going to do for ourselves? Like if we don't even have something that's working for ourselves, how can we possibly have something that's working for our teams? And how can we possibly keep bringing people in? You can make money, but really the whole thing is you can't. You know, you gotta bust your ass for years and years and years and years and figure out all this different marketing stuff and go through a massive learning curve just to barely get results. You know, we were both kind of sick and tired of watching people struggle. So our goal, our vision, was to put together a simple sales funnel. And folks, I know some of you that are here tonight, you're brand new. You might not understand what a sales funnel is. Essentially, that's a series of web pages that brings someone from being a complete and total stranger to an interested prospect, to someone that's watching a sales video, to someone that actually signs up into something and spends money. That's a sales funnel. It's a series of web pages that leads them along a process, right? And so we wanted to build a sales funnel that we could test, that we could tweak, that we could put our time and effort into, and we could make it work. And ultimately what it would do is it would get people interested on the front end, and then they would be able to make sales on the back end into the company that we were involved in. We said, if we can just literally help our team members get front end sales, we already know how to get back end sales. We already know how to upgrade. We already know how to sell higher priced products. And we're going to talk about that later and why that's so important. We already knew how to do all this stuff. The thing we were struggling with was, it doesn't matter what we know about this. It doesn't matter how good we are at helping people go from being a $25 customer or a $50 customer to being a $10,000 customer or a $5,000 customer or a $3,000 customer. It doesn't matter what we know about getting people to upgrade there. What matters if we can actually help them get people in the front end. So we said we need to fix that. And up until this point in time, neither Angela or I had really delved too much into cold traffic. Angela was a YouTube video marketer previous to that. I had done a lot of social media, a lot of blogging. We had both done some stuff on Facebook, paid marketing, and very little bit of solo ads and media buys and things of that nature. And solo ads and media buys are literally, it's just completely cold traffic, people that don't see your face, people that don't know you on the social networks, people that haven't seen a video of yours or read a blog post of yours, or haven't been kind of like exposed to you until they're actually like on your team. All of a sudden they're on your team and that's when they kind of get exposed to you, or they're on your mailing list and they start reading emails from you and that's kind of when they're exposed to you at that point in time. And so typically the way that cold traffic, i.e. solo ads, media buys works is typically people will get a lot of traffic to a website and they will capture their email addresses. And then over time, they will continuously email those people 1, 2, 3 times a day, sometimes a whole lot more, sometimes, at least like 1 time a day. And over time, it's typically said that over 3 to 6 months, you can really see the full investment return itself, meaning that all the money you've stuck into paid traffic, all the money you've put into getting traffic and leads, you'll actually see the full conversion of what they actually went from being leads to actually being customers and money in your pocket, right? Well, with that being said, if you have to wait 3 to 6 months to really see a return on investment, how quickly can people get into profit, and how quickly can people really realistically go from zero to scaling a business up the way that this industry's, the way that the internet can actually be done, right? Scaling up a business is finding a way to get customers on the front end and converting them into higher amounts of money so you can actually take that money right away and reinvest it back into traffic. And as you get more money here, you can just stick more and more traffic in the front end, right? There's very few sources that can allow you to do that. Solo ads, media buys, those are some of the sources. But if it takes you 3 to 6 months to convert those leads into buyers, that doesn't really work. So me and Angela wanted a way where we could put together a sales funnel that would help our people get front end sales on day one. And then if they chose to, which you should, I'm not saying you shouldn't do this, folks. You should be emailing your leads, right? You should be emailing your lead list regularly, building a relationship with, getting to know them, or them getting to know you for that matter, and teaching them things and sharing information with them. And over time, they get to know you and they'll join your business. That's a great way to increase your results. Get results in the front end, because that's a way where people then have something to email their list about. And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit too. But so what happened was we went through about 9 months of just complete flop after flop after flop. And what I mean by that is we literally spent tens of thousands of dollars in testing on traffic, aside from all the money we stuck into building the funnels and the technology and all that stuff, and none of them were working. And what do I mean by that? I mean, some of our funnels, we were spending $10,000 on traffic and getting 1 or 2 sales, earning $25 a piece, 3 sales earning $25 a piece. You know, $75 out and 10,000 in is just a complete recipe for going broke really quick. You know, we realized that. We said, okay, this stuff doesn't work. We then created a funnel that worked really well with Facebook paid traffic. But the issue with Facebook paid traffic, folks, and I love it to death. You know, I love Facebook. Here's the issue with it. It takes some people a long time to get their ads approved on Facebook. It's not like, hey, I put an ad up and instantly it's approved and running, right? It's not like the Wild West when Facebook was really easy to get approved on, or like Google back in the day was so easy to get approved on. It takes a while to get ads approved, right? And then the traffic has limits. The traffic has limits, so it's really difficult to scale up. I had traffic running last year on Facebook to a funnel that I had built, right? And I was basically able to stick $1 in and pull somewhere around, I don't know, like $15 or $20 out. For every dollar I invested into traffic, I earned $15 to $20, right? That's the way that I was converting my leads into buyers and upselling them into different product levels. That's how much money I was making from that. The issue was that there was a very finite amount of traffic from the sources that I was actually able to get those kind of conversions from the sources that were actually converting into customers. There was a very finite amount of traffic, right? So it's not scalable. It's not something I could take my team members and say, hey, you need to plug in with this and you can do it. And then I can teach literally thousands of my team members how to do the exact same thing. And all of them are getting the exact same results on it or similar results. No, we taught it to a lot of people last year, and a handful, you know, maybe a little bit more, got some result, and a very, very, very small handful got any kind of noticeable results from it, right? And so we realized, we said, hey, we need something scalable. We need something where if someone can get a result by buying $100 worth of traffic, they could then make some money, and they could get a result by upping that to $200 or $300 worth of traffic. And as time goes on, they could turn that into, you know, investing thousands of dollars and making a whole lot more, pulling a whole lot more out. You know, that's always been the goal here, because then you have a business that's freedom, you know? Yeah. Last year, I was able to go on 23 vacations, right? I was able to go on 23 vacations. And here's the reason why. I had money coming in independent of my time. I would wake up oftentimes and I would say, oh, you know what I have to do today? Nothing, right? My ads are running, my traffic is running, people are buying, people are joining. And I might spend about 5 minutes writing an email, or, you know, copying an old email and resending it out to my leads list. And that was about all I would do for some days. You know, there was times where I'd take entire weeks off. Why? Because my business was automated. Traffic was flowing in because I was putting money over here. Traffic was flowing. Leads were happening. Signups were happening. Upsells were happening. We had this whole process going on for that as well. And I had to work, like, I think I averaged about 5 to 10 hours a week for most of the year last year, right? Well, why was that? Because I had this stuff running in place. Well, when I lost that traffic, source, I had to start figuring something else out. But more importantly, I couldn't teach my team members how to do that same thing. I had freedom. My team members didn't, right? And so me and Angela were really looking for a way to make that happen. Well, we made it happen, right? Do you wanna jump in and talk about what we did 3 months ago?
Yeah, sure. So this is really exciting, guys, because what we wanted to do in order to actually prove that this concept works, because you guys are sitting there and you're like, okay, that's great. You wanted to create a sales funnel that would actually work for people. There's been, you know, hundreds of different companies that have tried to do that and have completely not done that, because the bottom line is this: the new person I have really never seen succeed in anything before the Freedom Fighters Network. So how could we actually prove that the concept would work? How could we actually prove that a brand new person could make money just as easily as somebody that had come into this industry and already made thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions of dollars? Well, what we needed to do was actually launch our launch our idea, launch our vision, right, to what's considered cold traffic. Now, like Jordan just said, there's basically 2 different types of traffic out there. Warm traffic is like Facebook ads, SEO, things where people are just kind of like warmed up to you so that they have a higher, there's like a higher probability that they will want to buy something. It's also a lot more difficult to learn those marketing strategies, right? Cold traffic is something that we can get literally hundreds of thousands of clicks per week to. So our idea, our vision was that, hey, if we go and we test this thing with cold traffic to people that have never heard of us before, they have absolutely no reason to know us, like us, or trust us, and this thing works with these people, then guess what? We can give our new people the same traffic that we're using. We can give our people the same funnel that we're using. And if everything is the same and there's not any variables, right, then what that would mean, right, would be that if somebody's brand new, it didn't matter because they have the same funnel and they have the same traffic as somebody who's already made thousands of dollars in this industry or millions of dollars in this industry. If you don't have to change those variables, it really makes it so that anyone can actually succeed with this. So what we did was we launched it to cold traffic, and inside of our first 60 hours of launch, I should say test, because it wasn't even a launch yet. We had no idea if it was going to be like our 12th flop or if it was going to be like our home run, right? So we launched it cold traffic. Inside of our first 60 hours, we brought in 188 people, 188 brand new people that were not our current team members. They weren't people that had been warmed up to us in our marketing list. They weren't anybody that knew us from Adam, right? So then what happened was we brought it to our teams. We were like, guys, we've got something. We've got something that actually works. And what happened is over the next literally 388 people that didn't know us to over 10,000 people inside of 3 weeks. Why did that happen? Because it actually was working for people, right? People are actually able to bring people into this because they had an appealing process to actually offer. Now, let me talk about what exactly that means for just a moment here. People get started in things because of the process. If you've ever been in this industry before, if you've ever been in any companies where you're supposed to make a list of your friends and family and call each one of them up and have them come to a hotel meeting or a Starbucks presentation or do one of those 3-way calls where your sponsor is like there on the phone with like your aunt and they're trying to get hard closed and all that kind of stuff. You guys have ever done that? You know that it's very, very difficult. Why is it difficult? Well, the person that's on the other end of the phone that's trying to be pitched or hard closed or whatever, they're sitting in the back of the meeting, they're looking at this process and they're thinking to themselves, I'd love to make money from home because everybody would, right? Who's like kidding themselves and saying that you don't want to make money from home? Everybody wants to make money from home. But most people don't want to do it in a way where they're going to have to go to meetings, they're going to have to be on the phone, they're going to have to cold call. So what's happening is the person that's sitting in the back of the meeting that was invited there, probably like forced into coming. Have you guys ever strong-armed one of your friends or family into coming to a meeting before? I know I have. So they're sitting in the back of the meeting and they're like, I'd love to make money from home, but this is not, it doesn't seem worth it to me. Like, I can't see myself doing this. I can't see myself calling up my friends and family and going through all of these different processes to try and bring people into stuff. I'm just not going to do it. And that's why. Let
me jump in here really quick because I remember this just inspired or made me think of this. I had a friend back in the day that I worked with. We're still friends. We don't see each other that much because he lives in Wisconsin and I live here. But Back when I was first starting out my business, he said, man, that'd be awesome. Like, I would love to learn how to make money online. I'm actually looking for a way to, because he was sick of working. I mean, if you've ever worked in a kitchen, my God, I got to fathom that it's not something you want to do for your entire life, in any job for that matter, if you just don't want to do that, you don't want to do that. And he said, Jordan, I would love to learn what you do once you figure it out, right? And I said, well, I'll tell you what, man, as soon as I get it figured out, I will show you what I've done. And so we set a thing where I said, hey, when I have my first $2,000 month, because we were both making less than $2,000 a month at our jobs, when I have my first $2,000 month, and I think he was making a little bit over that, but when I have my first $2,000 month, I'll tell you all about it, and then I'll show you what I did. Well, that didn't happen for a while. It didn't happen for, God, I think it took me about 15 months or so before I had my first $2,000 month. And I told him, I said, hey man, look at what happened. I just had my first $2,000 a month. And he said, ooh, man, that took you a little bit, you know?
It looks pretty hard.
I don't know if I want to do that, right? I said, okay, cool. He said, well, I'll tell you what, when you have your first $5,000 a month, let me know, because that's actually something that's worth putting some work and effort into. So I contacted him, maybe we're talking about maybe 5 or 6 months later. I said, hey man, I just had my first $5,000 a month. In fact, I just quit my job, like a couple days ago, and you told me to tell you about it. So I'm telling you, man, are you ready to rock with me here? And he said, I don't know, man. I've seen what you've done to get there. I saw what you did to get there. Like I was doing the stuff. I was talking to friends and family. I was spending time on the phone every single day. I didn't do the whole hotel meeting thing and all that stuff. Like I used to go to those things for one of the companies I was in. But I'll tell you what, I never once had a single person show up. Why? Because I never once invited a single person. I kind of just went there for moral support for, my sponsor, because he had a local team going on. I was an internet marketer all. And, the thing was, this guy said to me at that point in time, he said, hey, Jordan, I'll tell you what, when you're making $10,000 a month, it might be worth it at that point to do what you've done. The bottom line was, when I started having consistent $10,000 months, he said, you know what, I'm just not willing to do what you did to get there. It's not worth it to me. I'd rather work a job the rest of my life. See, people see what we do, like the whole dream, right? The whole dream of having a business from home. I've often heard it said, there's a lot of people preaching the dream, but they're living the nightmare. It was like me last year telling people, hey, like business is great. This is awesome. I was spending 6 hours a day on the phone at that point in time. I did this for about 2 months. Not last year, 2 years ago, sorry. I spent 6 hours a day on the phone for 2 months calling everyone I could possibly think of to get 0 sales. I got 0 sales because of it. Why? Because every single person, the one person that almost joined me, now this person saw that, what were we doing? We were doing a 90-day blitz for this company, right? And some of you might remember this if you're in my team or whatever, or you might remember the big rah-rah going on about it. We got home from an event, and the #1 earner in the company talked us all into doing this complete bullshit stuff where we made a list of all the leads that had opted in, that gave us their phone numbers in the past year. Every single person who was a friend or family member who had always said no to us, and we pitched them again. This was a blitz. We were going nuts, and we were going to do whatever it took to really take this thing to the moon. And I remember getting contacted one day. It was like 4 or 5 weeks into me doing this thing by a good friend of mine, Diane. She says, Jordan, you got to realize that you telling people what you're doing
sounds awful.
Sounds awful, and that is probably why people don't want to join you. And that's kind of when it hit me. I was like, you know what? Here I am. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. I am like posting all over Facebook. Oh my God, I'm spending 6 hours a day on the phone. I am blitzing this thing. We're going to the moon. I'm calling hundreds of people a day, and just like going nuts about it, right? People are going, like, I'm going nuts about it.
I remember laughing at you at those posts.
So
not that I was really successful at the time, but I'm just like, why would anyone spend 6 hours on the phone? That sounds awful.
Nice. So I get this one person who is like, after 2 phone calls with me, then 1 3-way phone call with my sponsor, and then a 4th phone call with me. She is ready to join. She says, Jordan, I'm ready to do this. I want in. You're obviously very successful. I want to learn from you. And Friday I get my paycheck, so we'll sign up on Friday. I said, all right, let's schedule a time, and we picked the time. I was going to call her. I call her, and it was an echo chamber. Nothing. Right? Love that word.
I know. We got that from Aaron.
So I call her. Nothing. And I'm like, oh God, what the heck? This was like my one sign up. I was like hoping for this, because if I got 3 signups, I was going to win a trip, like to somewhere around the world. I forget where it was. It was like Jamaica or something like that. 4 signups, I want a trip to Jamaica, right? And so I'm one there. I'm 1 out of 4 there. If I can just get her to sign up, that's what I'm thinking at the time. And I call her back, and no answer. And then I call her back like a couple days later, and she answers, and you could tell she was thrown off by me calling. She didn't think I was going to call her again. But I said, hey, we were supposed to sign up. No big deal if you don't want to do it, but just wondering if something happened, what's going on. And she said, well, I got to thinking about it, Jordan. You and I had 4 phone calls. You had to get me on the phone with your sponsor and then talk to me and you've called hundreds of people to get me to commit. She said, I don't want to do that. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
At which point I tried to convince her, you know, like really, wait a minute. Like I'm trying to convince her to do something she doesn't want to do, right? Folks, if the process looks like something someone doesn't want to do, I'm not saying that you won't have to learn new things or new skill sets or anything of that nature. I'm not saying that with something, sit on your ass, do nothing, and make a ton of money. There's some people that, have you ever seen what was that TV show with Danny DeVito, Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Remember, guys, when the movie The Secret came out? Who's ever seen The Secret, read the book The Secret, understands the law of attraction? Well, there was this whole farce on the Secret. In that TV show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the guys that own this bar, Patty's Pub, they all started making vision boards, right? They had Ferraris and like, you know, women in bikinis and like stacks of $1 million and like big mansions. And the one guy comes walking in, he's like, you know what? I think this thing's a whole bunch of shit. He's like, I have been making this vision board for 3 days now and nothing showed up yet. What the heck? You know, folks. Yeah, you know, the thing is you can visualize and dream and all that stuff, and that's good. I do it. Angela and I do it. We set our vision, our intention for everything. That's why our company has done what it's done. That's why it's going to continue to do what it's going to continue to do and beyond, right? But there's work involved. You can't just visualize like, hey, I want to go to Bali for an amazing trip. And then like you just sit there and wait till like you don't just like all of a sudden end up in Bali just by visualizing. You actually have to go out there and make the money to make it happen. You have to start taking action steps and moving forward. And you know, you don't always have to know exactly what you're going to do, but you have to start moving forward, right? So that being said, when you have a process like what we've put together here within the Freedom Fighters Network that we actually lay out in our video, our sales video is what, about 18 minutes long. People see a very simple process inside of there wherein they can plug in, they can get everything set up, they can actually get the beginning of their marketing done, they can plug in with some very low-cost paid marketing up front and have all of that done for them, like right up front, before they ever have to start learning marketing skills, before they ever, like there's a marketing training section in our site, right? We have a tab in there with more and more trainings being added to it consistently. But usually what happens when someone joins a company, they get pitched on this idea that, you know, yeah, you can plug in and start making money today. Well, okay, so then I plug in, it's like, yeah, cool, awesome. I plug in, all of a sudden there's like 8 hours of setup videos, right? And then you get done with 8 hours of setup and it's like, okay,
now I gotta start marketing.
Now what do I do? Okay, oh, I gotta market. Okay, well, how do I market? Oh, now I gotta learn how to market. Okay, so I don't understand how to write a headline or compelling sales copy or what to say in a video or any of that stuff, right? And there's nothing wrong with not knowing that in the beginning, and there's nothing wrong with having to learn all that stuff, folks. You should learn all that stuff, right? The thing is, though, that doesn't, like, you don't just all of a sudden on day one, all of a sudden magically, it's like, oh, I shot a video and it was like an awesome sales video that got this person who was a complete stranger to want to go and send me thousands of dollars. No, that doesn't happen, right? What happens is you go through months and months and months of learning curve to really develop and master those skill sets. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how Angela and I got to where we were. The thing we wanted to have in place, though, was a way for people to plug in, be able to plug in with traffic and everything and have that all done in about 45 minutes, right? Our entire setup process takes about 45 minutes, right? And by setup and marketing takes about 45 minutes. That can actually reasonably be done in a day. We've had people that have earned their first commissions inside of 4 hours of joining the Freedom Fighters Network, right? We've had people that have earned their first commissions inside of a few hours, less hours, inside of a week, inside of a few days, right, of joining the Freedom Fighters Network, right? We have had a lot of people, and I'm not talking about like a veteran marketer that comes in and starts bringing their old team members over, right? Like we've had that happen too. I'm talking about a brand new person that doesn't know anything at all that says, hey, I just decided to plug in with this thing, and in my first couple of hours, all of a sudden I'm actually seeing commissions in my dashboard. This is crazy, right? This is absolutely insane. And the thing about it is, and this is where we get into what we wanted to create, our goal with the Freedom Fighters Network was not just to bring people into the front end. You see, remember folks, we wanted to create a funnel for our team members where we could help them get front end sales. And then as the team group, we would help them sell and upsell the higher priced products that were for a specific company we were with at the time. Well, you know, some of you may or may not know, we were actually with a different company. We parted ways from that company. And just 2 days ago, we launched our own company because our goal was always to have something on the back end wherein our members could sell a phenomenal product and earn a higher level commission for selling that product, right? And so we wanted to have a way where we had a funnel on the front end that allowed people to start marketing without understanding why or how or any of that stuff, and get all this marketing going and be able to not only earn and bring in people on the front end where you could earn a $25 commission, a $5 second tier commission. You could earn a, $225 commission if someone buys the annual. You could earn commissions off of selling some of the different tools that we have back there for marketing. But we wanted a way wherein that same person, without knowing or understanding anything, could earn a $400 commission, a $1,500 commission, a $3,300 commission, and actually upwards of a $5,000 commission from their customer without knowing anything. And so with that, I'm going to pass it over to Angela here because I feel like I'm definitely hogging the screen. I'm going to grab a drink of water.
Nice. So I guess what we want to actually start out by doing is telling you why that's so important. And to kind of illustrate that, what I'll do is actually tell you a story about how I first got started in this industry. I got started going back about 6, and I struggled for the first 4.5 years. People hear my story, knowing that I went $45,000 into debt during that time, tried a bunch of different marketing strategies, tried more handfuls of companies than I can count on both of my hands and both of my feet. And people hear my story today and immediately assume right off the bat that the problem was during that time that I couldn't make sales, that I wasn't actually sponsoring people or bringing people in. And that's not the case. See, when I got started 6 years ago, I was able to pretty much bring people in right away. As long as I wasn't offline, I was pretty bad offline, but like about 2.5 months after being offline, I realized that I wanted to be online. So when I discovered the internet, we'll put it that way, when I discovered the internet and discovered that you could sponsor people online and have marketing funnels and things in place, that's when I realized, okay, well, I can bring quite a few people into this. And I was on the leaderboards of the companies that I was in pretty much right out of the gate, or like anywhere between 2 to 5 sales every single day is what I was making, but I was losing money every single month. I was spending about $3,000 per month on marketing, and I was only getting about $1,000 back, right? Or $2,000 back. So this is a $1,000 loss, like roughly a $1,000 loss every single month. This went on for quite some time, until the time that I actually broke through. What happened, right? Because I literally went from losing $1,000 a month to the very next month earning almost $10,000. How could that possibly happen? How does somebody go from losing money, being $45,000 into debt over a 4.5-year time frame, losing, to all of a sudden, in a moment, everything changed, everything shifted, and I was able to earn almost $10,000. It was actually inside of 6 weeks. Right? It's $9,347 in 6 weeks. The reason that happened, guys, is because the things that I was in prior to that were things that I was earning like $15 per month. Now, if you do some quick math here, if you want to make $10,000 a month and you're earning it with $15 commissions, I don't know that number in my head. I don't know if he's more of a math genius. He's way more of a math genius than I am. But I don't know that number in my head, but you guys can all agree that that's a lot of commissions. That is a lot of sales, and that's a really high stick rate too, right? Because the myth of long-term residual income, I call it a myth because I literally sponsored personally more than 1,000 people. Jordan and I have sponsored over 1,000 people personally before the Freedom Fighters Network. We've brought in well over that inside of the Freedom Fighters Network from personally sponsored people, right? And I never had that residual income. Why? Because people don't stick. People get involved in something, and if they can't make money right away, if you can't show somebody how to make money in their first week or their first month, the average amount of time somebody will stick in something before get bored and move on to something else is 43 days. 43 days. So you have 43 days to show somebody how to make their first commission, or they are not going to stick with you. Well, here was my problem. I was losing $1,000 a month. Clearly, I didn't have a good formula that was working. And my people that I was bringing in, they literally were just dropping like flies. Like they would come in, they would drop, they would come in, they would drop. People would quit after like 2 days because they realized what they had to do. The sales video is all like, all you have to do is get started and then you'll make money. And then they were handed the owner's manual and they're like, shit, I've got to have 8 hours of setup. I've got to learn how to write headlines. I've got to learn how to do advanced marketing strategies. I've got to learn all this stuff. And this doesn't seem worth it. So I'm not going to stick with it, right? That's what I was running into. But then when I went into something, right, I came into a company, it was actually in pre-launch, right? company was in pre-launch, and all of a sudden I was shown a way where instead of earning $15 per month, I could then earn anywhere between $25 and at that time $625 per customer. And since the company was in pre-launch and since there was so much buzz around it, even me with my menial little marketing skills at the time, I was able to go from losing $1,000 a month to earning almost $10,000 inside of 6 weeks. Why? Because I made more money per customer. I made more money per customer, and that is key. You know, now since that time, you know, I've literally been, I went from that time to, was it like 3 to 4 months later, I was earning 5 figures a month. I was earning 5 figures a month, went from losing money to making that much money. Why? Because I could earn more per sale. And here's what the other thing happens is when you earn more per sale, you can reinvest back into your marketing. This is the actual key. I sent out an email earlier today. That's probably how you guys are all here right now, right? I sent out an email earlier today with basically the formula that you need in order to earn enough money on the internet. And it's basically 2 things. You need a sales funnel that converts. You need a sales funnel that converts. If you send traffic there, it better be converting, right? And it has to convert not only into $25 sales or $15 sales or $10 sales. What it needs to do is convert into sales on its own that are big enough to not only cover your advertising costs, but actually put money in your pocket, right? And then when you learn advanced marketing skills like how to email your list and, you know, other things that you can get cheaper traffic on Facebook if you're a good Facebook, like Jordan and I are really, really good on Facebook. When we do Facebook marketing, paid marketing, we get really, really cheap leads.
And really cheap signups.
Really, really cheap signups.
So you learned last year, like $6 signups?
Oh my God, I was getting like $6 signups last year. It was crazy because, you know, I understood how to do that stuff. I wasn't ever given something where I was just like, okay, you can, here's this like thing in a box and you don't have to do anything with it, like what we do for people. But so I learned all these different advanced skills. And I kind of forgot where I was going with that. Shoot.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let me just actually pass back over to you because I'm getting like super thirsty here. And I want to make sure we actually get into the goods on how we're actually going to pay out this money here too. So
perfect. All right. So I don't know where you were going with that one either. I'm only a mind reader like half the time, you know. But yeah, folks, the bigger commissions are what really makes it possible here. You know, everything I've ever been involved in was never the front end money that made anything possible. It was the front end money that was kind of just like icing on the cake or a bonus. Typically what a front end sale is for when you're selling something like we have a thing, it's a free trial and it leads into a $47 monthly membership, right? That $47 is just to get someone to commit, right? It's just seeing if that person's making a commitment. The very first thing I ever got involved in was $49.95. The very first thing you did was you paid $49.95 for an application kit, right? You had to apply to even be accepted to work with these people. I came to find out that was actually a farce. They pretty much accepted everyone who applied. You know, they pretty much called everyone who applied. What that was for, though, it was really just a way to weed out people that, you know, say they want to make money, but then when push comes to shove, they really don't want to do anything or have to invest anything or have to, you know, figure out a way to come up with a little bit of money to get a business started or anything of that nature. Now, me and Angela love, there's a Euro stand down the way that we absolutely love. And that guy pays like $5,000 a month to have a permit to stand in that corner, right? $5,000 a month to have a permit to stand in that corner. And that stand cost him about $15,000, $20,000 to get the grill and all the stuff. So he could go stand on a street corner from 10 o'clock at night until 3 in the morning, cooking gyros for people about 5 or 6 nights a week, right? Like it's a successful business, right? But it cost him like $25,000 right out of the gate to be able to go stand on the street corner and sell people gyros.
You didn't even know it was going to work, for that matter.
Right.
Like, you don't know if you open a restaurant if it's actually going to work. There's not really any proven process unless you're going to go buy a franchise, which, you know, in that case, you're paying like $200,000 or $500,000. Yeah. And I mean, opening up a hot dog stand or a Euro stand, like this guy, I mean, clearly he knew that he has a really good product, because I've actually walked my ass down in the middle of a friggin' snowstorm before to actually get one of these Euros because they're so delicious. And there's always a line there all the time. So he knew he had a good product, but he didn't know for sure that it was going to work. There was not a proven process in place that really had been done before, right? There was no Euro stand there before he was there, at least not to my knowledge.
Right.
So he randomly opened up this Euro stand, hoping that it would work, investing $25,000 into it.
Right. I talked to a lady too. I was down way down College. If you go way south on College Avenue here, probably about 5, 6, 7 miles down the road, there's a little hardware store there, right? And this is definitely off the beaten path. Like this is not, this is not a high traffic area, right? Yeah. And this lady, I was down there. I had never been down there before. This is actually the only time I was ever down there. My buddy had to get like it was a rototiller. I was actually helping him with his garden in his front yard. I was helping him dig up his garden and whatnot a couple of years ago. And we were picking up the rototiller, and I was standing out front grabbing a couple hot dogs from this hot dog stand. And I talked to the lady, and I was just, hey, just curious, like, what did it cost you to get this thing going, to get this thing moving here? And she said about $15,000 just for the cart, right? Not including all the stock and everything, and not including the permit to be able to stand on the front corner of this parking lot. She had to pay to get that location to be able to stand there, not only for the owners of the building, right? The owners of the building, the owners of that land, but you also have to have a permit with the city, right? There's two different things you have to have, right? You got to pay to be able to be on that land, and then you have to pay a permit to the city to be able to sell food. You have to have like a food license and like health inspection and all this stuff to make sure that you're actually selling quality food and it's clean and you're serving it properly and all this other stuff, right? Like there's a lot that goes into something like that. That is like one of the cheapest businesses that I know of, aside from starting a business on the internet, right? And so folks, getting someone to commit to $47 is really just a way to weed out people that aren't serious.
Yeah.
If someone says, hey, I can't commit to 47 bucks, well then how serious are they really about wanting to build a business, right?
Yeah.
We got to get them through some small steps at first before we can then go sell them higher priced products on the back end. And that's how it works. That's the entire process. But you get people committed on the front end, and some of those people will commit to the back end. Some of them will do it right away, and some of them will do it over time, right? And the people that will do it right away will do it for incentives like, hey, there's a bonus, there's a discount, I get more money on the front end, I earn more money, I save more money. Some people take action on that. Others will wait and take action later when they see like other people succeeding with it. They'll wait and see what's going on. There's all different variables that fall into place here. The bottom line though is you got to get people committed on the front end, and then we sell them into a back end product. And so we always knew we needed something, right? We always knew we needed something. Now we were looking at different companies, and there was a lot of companies that we got introduced to. The bottom line was this, a lot of the companies we just didn't feel right about. Some of the companies that people were trying to introduce us to, it's like, yeah, you bring someone in for 500 bucks and then you earn like a $6 monthly commission, right? And I was like, well, I mean, we're already paying out $25 monthly commissions, so why would people get excited about having a $6 commission? Like it just like, holy cow, that doesn't add up. Not that there's anything wrong with that MLM model, but it just doesn't make sense to go from here to backwards, And so what we always wanted was higher priced items that paid out high level commissions, upwards of $5,000 commissions you can earn by selling our product line. And we wanted to have a phenomenal product. We said we don't want to be another Me Too company, another company that, that's literally just creating products out of thin air so they can have higher priced products. Like we didn't want to be like that. And not that those products aren't like valuable, right? Like not that coaching, or like live events or things of that nature where you're teaching people business strategies. Not that stuff's not valuable. I think it's insanely valuable, right? It's clearly where we've learned our stuff, but we just wanted something different. We wanted a product that people would like to buy, even if they didn't want to make money inside of the home business industry. Not just selling a product that people inside the home business industry love, right? Again, not that there's anything wrong with that. Clearly, it works. Clearly, those products are phenomenal. They've taught us a ton. We've seen a lot of people make a lot of money selling those kind of products. And it's valuable to learn how to build a successful business when you actually go take action with what you learn, right?
I need to just jump in for just a second and kind of explain to you guys why we when Jordan and I set out to actually put in this back end to actually put this in place here, what we wanted is something that was solid, like Jordan said, wherein whether or not you wanted to make money, it's something that you still want to buy. Well, why? Because you want to have customers, guys. You don't want to just have people that are building the business. You also want to have customers. And if you look at all of the most successful companies in the network marketing industry that are still around. Even the companies that literally pay like $2 per month. There's a company that I know of. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but this is awesome. I think that it's absolutely amazing. There's hardly anyone that's making money in that company. They pay like $2 a month in commissions. But guess what? Their product is amazing. And so people stick with it. People decide to buy it anyway, even though they realize that they're making like piddly little commissions. And so what we thought is like, what if we had a really awesome product and we had a really, really awesome compensation plan? We marry the two of these together. I mean, our vision is to be the fastest growing company and the biggest company of all time with your help, which is why you guys are here. Yep. We're already on track. As you guys can see, we've paid out, and I'm sure the number has gone up now. I have no idea. I don't think I have the login details for our thing yet. But we paid $97,000 out. The last we checked this afternoon, just inside of the first 48 hours. Why? Because people saw something that finally works. They also saw a product that they realized that people would want to buy anyway. Right. They're not like, you know, I know that there's people that probably had to talk their spouse or whatever into getting a high priced product. And if the product was something like, you know, coaching or training or one of these other like products that a lot of people's spouses wouldn't even have agreed to, you know, allowing them to get it or whatever, right? When they see something that's like, okay, well, you know, yeah, honey, I can see that you want to make money with this, but holy crap, it's actually a really cool product. So yeah, go ahead and get it, you know? It's another thing that actually helps sales. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling now. I just wanted to go ahead and just kind of tell people why we wanted to come up with something like that. It's really, really important to us to have something that you guys would feel really, really good about selling. I know for me, being in this industry, I've really never been in a company. I mean, maybe a few different companies that I was in, I really liked the product. Like I said, I've been in a million friggin' companies. But for the most part, it was the case of the only reason I actually got started was because I saw a way to make money. Yep. And that's really not solid when you think about it. It's really not solid. That's why the companies that have amazing products are the biggest companies. Yep. That's it. Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry.
Awesome. So no, I'm glad you jumped in there. So I don't know what I was talking about, and I don't know where should we go from here, babe? Like, what should we tell people next year?
I mean, basically the bottom line is this, guys. You guys are here because you want to make money. We literally set up a way 2 days ago for people to earn big commissions. We're not offering it to the public. If you're on this page right now and you're watching this hangout, the thing that you have to do in order to get access to all of the products, the videos, all that kind of stuff, learn how you can start earning these big commissions, because we have team members, so many team members. Like we need we're doing another hangout on Thursday of this week where we're actually bringing out all the people, not all the people, because that would be like a friggin' like 12-hour hangout. We're bringing out a lot of the people that have made money, a lot of the people that have made like are actually coming out. Just so you guys see this stuff, because, you know, it's one thing for Jordan and I to actually tell you, you know, hey, there's people making money. But when you guys meet those people face to face, and you see their face and you hear their voice and you see their stories, you know, people that have struggled for years earned like $3,000 their first day with us. That's big. That's huge. We want to show you guys how to do that. We're going to introduce you to those people on Thursday. You'll be able to be on that hangout as well. And that one is going to be a public hangout. But in order to get access to the hangout that we did for our members 2 days ago, hold on just a second before you tell them how to get access to this. Okay.
Folks, I just want to say, you know, I know not everyone in here is from the United States, but today is Veterans Day. And I just want to give a shout out to everyone who's served in the armed forces, not only in the United States, but if you've served in the armed forces in your country, you've made a commitment and done some things that a lot of people wouldn't do, and you fought for other people's freedom. You know, we just from the freedom fighters, we want to thank you for that. You know, because I personally have not, volunteered or done anything with the military, but I do appreciate it. I have family that's been in the military, and I know a lot of friends that have been in the military, and I know a lot of people from within our community and other that are actually, there's people that are serving right now. So we just want to give a shout out to you and say thank you. You know, thank you for making that sacrifice for our freedom. So
thank you. Awesome. So, you know, I know you guys are sitting here wondering how you can actually get access to these products to be able to earn big commissions. What we did was 2 days ago. We actually showed what the products were. And like we said, we're in pre-launch right now, guys. So the products aren't actually ready yet. They're not available yet. We're going into actual launch on November 23rd. The cool thing is during pre-launch, which is here only for the next 5 days. It's only until Sunday at midnight. You're able to actually start making money. That's how we've already paid out over $97,000 in commissions. How did we do that? Well, we did that because people are making money even before the product is ready yet, which is really, really, really exciting. Really, really exciting. There's a lot of different benefits to get in during pre-launch, which we're not going to cover in this Hangout because we cover it in the Hangout that I'm about to refer you to here in just a moment. Because like I said, we launched this to our members 2 days ago. And during that launch, during about a 3-hour or so hangout, we laid out exactly what the products are, the compensation plan, and how exactly you can go about marketing and make money during the pre-launch so that you can get your money back, make more money, right? That's the whole idea. Remember, if you put money into something and then you put money into marketing, like the key is to get the money back out so you can scale your business up. I think that's where I was headed with that. I'm like exhausted. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit spacey today. We've not slept much since we actually launched this thing. But where I was going was there's basically like 2 things that you need in order to actually make money. In this industry, you need a sales funnel that converts, and you need to send traffic to the sales funnel. The sales funnel also has to have high enough priced products that you can actually pull your money back out of it, right? You can't have to wait 3 to 6 months to have to mail your list, and a new person doesn't even know how to mail their list. So you can't have to wait to get your money back out of the marketing, because most people don't have tens of thousands of dollars just laying around to start a business. The average person, lives paycheck to paycheck. And so if they get started on something, they need a way to be able to make money right away. And the only way to do that is if you have a funnel that converts high enough and pays out big enough commissions to where you can take, $100, $200, $300, put it into traffic, and then you see a sale. Last year, mine and Jordan's average sale amount, because of processes that we had in place, not because of processes the company had in place. I have like my entire own sales funnels and my entire own upsell process. We should have opened a company last year, babe. I literally was doing like a ton of work. That being said, every time we would put $200 into marketing, and get one $25 customer, we knew that customer on average was worth $900 plus, over $900. And so how many times would you be willing to put in $200 per customer, even if it was for a free member? And our customers with our traffic cost a whole lot less than that. But just look at it like this. If you were to put in $200 and you knew that you were getting $900 back out of that, how many times per day would you want to do that? Well, that's what this allows you to do. Now, I can't tell you the average customer value because we literally just launched this thing like 2 days ago, and I haven't even calculated out the numbers yet. But that being said, what you guys you'll be able to understand what your average customer value is moving through the pre-launch and going into the launch. So with that, the way that you actually get access to this recording that we did this past Sunday, and you can only actually access this for 5 more days. So you're gonna wanna take action on it right now. The only way to access that is to become a member first. This is an internal launch. We didn't launch this to everybody. It's not available to everybody. It's not available to the public. There's a whole lot of stuff that we're offering, benefits. We have a way where you can actually earn more money for life. It's not just discounted products, guys. We actually have a way where we are going to pay the people that get started during pre-launch more money for life. You'll have full details inside of that Hangout. Like I said, here we're not going to cover it. We're already coming up on the top of the hour. But in order to get access to that Hangout, you'll actually be joining with the person who sent you here. That we do, we do these Hangouts for the public really rather often, especially now that we're in pre-launch. We're doing them all the time. And when you get your marketing out there, which we show you how to do in 2 different of our steps in the Getting Started Guide, you get your marketing out there, you generate your leads following exactly the steps that we lay out for you. And then when you get your leads, we send you an email and say, hey, copy and paste this and send this out to your people and invite them to this Hangout. Wherein on this Hangout, guess what we're doing? We're bringing people into the Freedom Network. And when we do that, as long as you send those emails out and you just, you copy and paste like we show you how to do, then those people can join on with you, right? That's how people are making money. That's how we've paid out this much money inside of a couple of days. We did that because our people are out there marketing and making money. So with that, I don't really have too much more to say.
I've got a little bit more to say here, folks. I'm really actually excited about this. because we are in pre-launch right now. And folks, I just kind of want to lay out the game plan of, you know, what has happened leading up to this, and what's going to happen during this week of pre-launch, and then what's going to happen. There's going to be a week in between the pre-launch ending where we're actually closing the carts on the top tier program for that week while we finish getting everything set up with the back end and with the program and with everything, get the products ready and all that stuff. And then we're going into actual launch mode. And from that point in time moving forward, everything will just be running the exact same. You know, like basically when someone comes into the Freedom Fighters, they will have a certain amount of time to get started in the top tier to save a certain amount of money and get some other bonuses and do different things. We've got another thing that's going to be happening during launch that's going to allow you to get more money in your pocket right out of the gate. We've got some cool bonuses that are happening there come launch time and all that stuff. But really, I just want to touch on a few things leading up to this because, folks, you know, the Freedom Fighters has been around for 90 days. And, you know, when we started launch, we put 10,000 people in our first 3 weeks. And then we had some technology errors. You know, we had some technology issues with our merchant gateways, with the actual, like, with the thing that was connected to the banks that was processing. There was some issues with the softwares we were using, the programs we were using, and we were building our own software out at the same time, and it caused a whole bunch of issues inside of the system, right? And what happened is a lot of people walked away at that point in time, right? A lot of people walked away, and you know, it definitely caused some bumps and bruises along the way, you know. And the really cool thing was we ended up talking to this guy who's literally he's built teams in the millions of people inside companies, been successful in the industry for 30 years now. Him and his partner, we had the pleasure of being connected with them through a mutual friend, and talking to them, they gave us some advice, they gave us some stuff. And you know, they guided us over to helping us connect and build this company, this top tier company that you guys are going to learn about when you get inside. It's awesome. I know someone was asking for the name, but you'll learn when you're inside. It is an internal launch, and you know, there's literally like nothing on that company. There's like the websites are being built as we speak, all that different stuff. So you're not going to see anything. You could go do the research on it. You wouldn't learn anything about it or hear anything about it until you're inside the Freedom Fighters. But you know, here's essentially what happened. We brought in a ton of people. People were getting results right out of the gate. Then all the bumps and bruises happened, and a lot of people walked away, right? And a lot of people, like, we knew this was going to happen. We said, you know what's going to happen is there's a lot of people that are kind of looking and waiting to see what's going on, and they're going to see if we actually make it, right? Well, this guy that we were talking to, he said, Jordan, Angela, he said, you two have got what it takes, right? He's like, the one thing I know, the only thing you need to succeed, he said, pretty much every company that ever launches nowadays goes through issues of some sort, and they're usually pretty catastrophic. Why? Because people that start businesses, they don't understand all the different moving facets and pieces to building a business. Fuck, we didn't, you know? Like, you know, we thought we thought we had support covered and all this other stuff covered. We didn't, you know, we did, but we didn't. You know, we do now. We thought we had all these different things in place. We thought we were doing pretty dang good, and we were doing pretty dang good, but obviously there's things that you just don't foresee, right? And he said, the only thing you guys need to do is you just need to keep getting back up and keep running forward no matter what happens. As long as you can do that, you'll go to the moon, right? As long as you can do that, you'll go to the moon, right? And fuck, $97,000 in commissions paid out in the first 48 hours. I mean, can I get a woohoo on that one? Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Folks, what we said about a week ago, we said, here's what's going to happen. There's a lot of people that, you know, that haven't even heard about us yet, that they're going to start hearing about us when we go into launch mode. There's a lot of people that were with us that walked away. There's a lot of people that were looking at us and never got started with us because they were waiting to see what happens. You know, there's a lot of people that will say, hey, I want to wait till the company's around for a little bit and see really the stability and all this other stuff. Right. There's people all over the board here, right? We said, here's what's going to happen come launch. When we launch, and there's people that make $5,000 in their first day, and there's people that make $10,000 in their first day, and there's people that make their first $400, and there's people that make their first $1,000, right? when there's all different people that do this, and there was you know, there's a guy, and we're gonna talk about him more, and he's gonna actually come out and share with you what he did and all this stuff. There's a guy that earned $23,000 in his first day. He's already over $30,000 within his first 48 hours. And to my knowledge, I don't know that he's ever done that in a 2-day period before. I honestly don't know. Like, he could have, you know, like he might have, but I don't know, right? You know, there's people that are like, I said, as soon as this happens, as soon as people see these results starting to roll in, here's what's going to happen. Some of the people that left are going to start coming back immediately, right? And they are. You know, there's literally swarms of people contacting us now saying, hey, still a market over there? You know, swarms of people, like not just like one or two, like handfuls and handfuls of people. And then there's people saying, oh my God, I was waiting to see what happened, and now you guys are doing awesome, so I'm ready to rock over here now. And there's people that had never heard of us before that are seeing these kind of results, and they're coming in, right? And everything is just picking up and moving forward, right? Momentum started increasing about 3-4 weeks ago, after we got everything stabilized and all that good stuff. And this launch was really the key to really everyone, you know, launching and making a ton of money, right? And as soon as people start seeing results are coming back, right? As soon as that happens, this thing's going to the moon. Well, that's why what's about to happen right now, folks, you know, I mean, my God, I don't know of another company that did that much in commissions in their first 2 days, in their first 48 hours. I don't know of too many other companies that have done that. I'm sure there's some out there. I don't know every single company on the internet or in the industry. But the thing that excites me the most, folks, is this. With everything that we've gone through, with all the bumps and bruises, that we are still on track to be one of the fastest growing companies in the internet space. Like, it's absolutely, it's awesome, right? And here's what it proves. Here's what it proves is when there's an idea whose time has come, and the collective conscious of the world, and everyone is like ready for it to happen, then it's going to happen, right? And people were ready for this. You know, when we first launched the Freedom Fighters Network, the reason that it went so well, you know, I mean, I've been talking with different people. There's a lot of different leaders in other companies that have contacted me and said, hey, I'm kind of, you know, really wondering now, like, can I come over there? Would this be, you know, we're talking right now, you know, like, they're a little slower to make moves because obviously they need to, you know, they've got like huge teams and downlines of all that nature and everything of that. But basically what I'm getting at, I'm kind of rambling all over the place in the moment. What I'm getting at is when we first launched the Freedom Fighters Network, the concept that we put together wherein people could actually realistically, I'm not talking about the bullshit sales videos that say, hey, you can make money today and it's so easy, you can start making money today. And then you get in and it's like, now make a list and call all of your friends and family. And you're like, well, wait, what? That's how I have to make money? I have to call all my friends and family and pitch them on a business? Friends and family, folks, like, in my opinion, is the stupidest thing to do if you want to start a business off the right way, for a lot of different reasons. One is they know you. Yeah. You know, if my family saw, they're like, Jordan, you're living in dad's basement and you're working a $900 a month job and you don't have you got a really clunker of a car and nothing else to show for your life at the age of 25. And you're trying to tell me why I need to get into this business with you. Huh, right? Right? It's just kind of, it's easy, right? The other thing is they're not particularly looking for a business opportunity, right? They're not particularly looking for a business opportunity. Now, the other thing that you see in business is they say, hey, get started, you can start making. Then you get into the business. It's like, okay, go through 8 hours of training just to get everything set up. Then go through, 15, 20 hours of training to learn marketing, and then get out there and start marketing while you're learning all this stuff, right? You're like, okay, well, this is now like 2, 3, 4 days down the road, and I still don't know what the heck I'm doing, right? So that's the other option there. Me and Angela were like, you know what, we're kind of sick of that. That's like extremely misleading to people. What if we had a way where people could plug in, get everything, like didn't have much setup, didn't have to go through and build any of their own stuff, create any of their own videos. Remember a company I got involved in years ago, the initial steps of setup was, hey, create your capture page video. Hey, create your welcome page video. I'm like, so I don't even know what to say to people. I remember actually taking 2 weeks to shoot that video because I literally went around to all the leaders in the company and I recorded all of their videos and I wrote all the scripts out for their videos word for word. And then I meshed different parts of all their videos together and I had a script. And it took me 2 weeks to record this freaking video. And, it worked. it worked. I ended up getting some sales from it, but it took me 2 weeks to get there, right? Now, what if there was a way where people could plug in, not have to set up websites, not have to build videos, not have to do any of that stuff, not have to learn marketing, but they could just literally get in and get going? That's what me and Angela did here. That's why it was a paradigm shift. That's why people are so excited about it, right? And so when people now see a way that not only can they get started on the front end without having to know anything, but they can immediately position themselves to earn higher level commissions on the back end, right? Like really high level commissions, right? They can immediately position themselves to earn really high level commissions, all before they know or understand marketing, all before they know or understand any of that stuff, right? And then they can plug into the marketing training section on our site that's being filled out consistently with training that works right now, and it's being deleted when it's obsolete. We don't give away training that's obsolete. We don't sell training to people. We don't say, hey, pay $47 a month for this awesome training library, and then really 90% of the stuff in there is like 3 years old and outdated. You know, like we don't do stuff like that to people, because that's going to mislead them down the wrong rabbit hole forever, and they're going to wonder why the heck they're not getting 200 leads a day with it, when in reality that marketing strategy doesn't work anymore because it's 3 years old. You know, folks. So the bottom line is this: people saw something whose time had come, and no matter what bumps and bruises we went through, there was people that saw that vision. There was people that still saw that vision, and that's why it's working so big right now, and that's why it's going so big right now. That's why this launch is going to be insanely huge, even after all the bumps and bruises. That's why people are starting to come back here. That's why more and more people are going to be joining than ever. That's why people who are starting to make all this money are seeing, there was people that were like, hey, I'm investing money and these $25 commissions just aren't adding up to what I should be. Well, no shit, and no offense if you didn't know that, but folks, and that's probably our fault for not clarifying that before. The entire reason for having the $25 commissions is not to put you in profit. The entire reason for having them, it's to get people to make a commitment on the front end before they make a bigger commitment on the back end, right? That's it. That's all it is, right? And it's also to help us actually run the company, because if we were trying to run the company without making a little bit of money on the front end to run that company, without us having that $17 a month from the front end, literally I don't know how we'd run the company. Like it wouldn't happen, right? That $17 all literally goes into running the company instantly. So, wow. Kind of all over the place here, but folks, get in, click the button down below and get started right now in Freedom Fighters. You'll notice when you click that button, if you've not been there before, if you're new to this page, that you have a 60-minute window to get started for free. You can get started for free, right? So get started for free right now. Go ahead, click that button down below, take your free trial. When you go through, there's some steps you can go through back there. There's 6 steps. The first 5 steps will take you about 45 minutes. You'll have your entire system set up. You'll have some marketing done and all that good stuff. You'll literally see how easy it is and how everything works and all that stuff. There's a there, but don't worry about that. Go on to step 6. Make it through step 6. And in step 6, you will find out all about the company. You will find all out about the products, about the price points, about the commission structure, about the bonuses. There's a huge bonus pool going on right now for pre-launch. Those of you that are active during pre-launch here, you're gonna get. Those of you that are participating and producing results here in pre-launch, you're gonna be getting some bonus money too. So super excited, folks. We want to go. Let's double this. Let's hit 200,000 within the next 2 days. Let's pass $200,000 in commissions paid out, which is what, like, I don't know, like maybe 300,000 or so, a little over 300,000 that will actually bring in sales in our first 4 days. I think that's absolutely amazing. I can't wait. We're going to do it. The only question is this, folks, will you be one of the people earning the money, right? That's really the only question, right? Are you going to sit there and watch all these other people earn money, or will you be one of the people out there who's excited about this, who's moving forward with this, and who's earning money? I remember 2 years ago, I was involved in a company, and I walked away from that company. They had some bumps and bruises. I walked away for a while, and I remember that summer, I was literally like, I had a friend of mine who, I told him, he was an old student of mine. I said, hey, anytime you get results, message me. Let me know. Like, share your excitement with me. Celebrate your success because it's absolutely awesome. And share your success with me because it's awesome. I want to celebrate it with you. No matter what. No matter if it's a company I'm in or not, I don't care. Just share it because it's cool to celebrate. And so I started getting texts from him. Hey, dude, just had a $500 day. Well, then the next day I got one, hey, dude, I just had $1,000 day. And then the next day he's like, hey, dude, I just had a $500 day. I'm like, what the is going on here? I was like, I'm busting my butt 6 hours a day on the phone, and this guy's making money hand over fist. I'm not even making that kind of money. Then I start seeing commissions rolling in from my team members, you know, second-tier commissions and whatnot rolling in, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. And team members of mine started making more money than me. I said, okay, this is where I draw the line. I got to get back in on that thing, right? But folks, it took me a while to get back in on that thing, and I regret it. You know why? Because I regret it because, you know, and there's nothing you can do to go change the past. There's only something you can do. You can learn from it, right? You can know not to make that same mistake again. I watched people in my industry, in my same company, who were at the same level of skill sets as me, who had the same experience as me, who had made about the same kind of money as me, go on to start making millions of dollars, right? These particular group of people all got they all earned over $1 million, right? And I looked at that and I said, you know what? We were at the same level. What was the difference between them and me? What was the difference between them and me? Well, they were there and they stuck with it. And so they got to ride the momentum wave for the couple years. They got to ride that entire momentum wave. And I came in when the wave was already like up. The wave was already up here. That's when I came back in, right? And so they got to ride the whole wave up, and I joined at the wave up here. They all made millions of dollars. I made, you know, like close to $200,000, right?
But with the same exact skill sets, guys.
Right.
Like the same exact skill sets. There were like people that made $1 million. The only difference was that they positioned themselves at the right time.
Right.
You know, like people say, like you have to be in the right place at the right time, and like it's true. You know, it is easier to make money in something when it's new. It's much easier. That's the reason why when I got into the company that I got into in pre-launch years ago, that's why I went from losing money to making money. People saw something at the time that they could make money with, and everybody was joining it. And if you're putting links out there on Facebook and, you know, going through our different marketing strategies that we have, and people are out there looking to join this because people are, they can be joining you if you're in, and then you can be riding the momentum wave, the momentum wave that Jordan and I missed. You know, that it's literally, we had people that had, I mean, people that were like right next to me on the leaderboard. Like I was number 8, they were number 9, or I was number 7 and they were number 6. They went on to make $1 million in that next year because they positioned themselves properly. Right. I went on to make like $100,000, $200,000, right? It's a big difference when you actually position yourself properly. Big difference.
Right. So folks, here's the last thing I want to leave you with here. You know, we have our programmer building out some technology for a comment system, because one thing I realized is this is a comment system I'd been using for years. The thing I realized is it's somehow installed, like it's on like 10 different pages. So if I put in like a different adjustment of the URL, I end up on a different comment stream, and there's like 10 different instances of it. So
with
it's
different amounts of people showing, like
and
it's really
different amounts
weird.
of comments. And so I might have missed some of your questions. We probably are missing a lot of questions here. I remember finding one the other day. I'm like, oh God, there's been a ton of questions. So folks, if you have questions, there is support, right?
Live chat.
And I don't know if live chat's on this time of day.
Not at the moment, no, but tomorrow morning it will be.
Right. So once you're inside the Freedom Fighters Network, which you can do now by clicking the button down below, get started there. Get started with our community here. We will be doing members hangouts on the hangout page inside of there, and we'll be happy to answer questions on there as well throughout this launch week. And then there's live chat and there's support questions in there. There's a support staff that you can enter support tickets into. They'll be able to get your questions answered inside of there. So if we missed them because we don't see you on the comment stream here, we apologize. Again, I put that together, and it's my fault. Our programmer's he's actually building a comment stream from scratch at the moment, because, you know, some of the stuff that you get online just doesn't work. You know, the tech. I never understood this, but 2 different codes that mix together, they cause errors. You know, that's why WordPress blogs are so fickle, because like you pull in codes from all different programmers, and all of a sudden it's like a time bomb and it blows up. You know. Yeah. So we apologize for that. But that being said, folks, this thing is going to the moon, right? This thing is absolutely going to the moon right now. And there's going to be a lot of people that take action on it now that get results like no one else will. There's going to be a lot of people that sit there and wait and watch. And then a year down the road, they're going to say, man, I wish I would have been in then, right? There's going to be people that wait till this thing actually launches. They're going to look back, because what's going to happen this week during pre-launch is the next week that we have a blackout week, meaning we have 7 days where we're not going to be selling the top tier program. And in that week, we are going to be doing a series of hangouts with all of you who've gotten results, with all of you who bought the product and love the product. There's a lot of people that are excited just about the product that don't even care if they make money, you know? And then there's a lot of people that are making money that have never made money before. And so they're going to start seeing all this stuff happening. And then when we go into launch mode, people are going to be coming in swarms in launch mode. In the actual regular launch, people are going to start joining like crazy because the momentum got created here this week. The momentum got created here this week. And then, so we got, what do we got left? We got what, 5 days?
Yes.
Just around 5 days.
It literally ends on Sunday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So when you actually get to step 6, you'll see exactly how much time down to the minute that you have left. We have one of those big red timers that, if you guys have known us for any period of time, that you know we love the big timers and things. So you'll be able to go on that page and it'll show you exactly how much time you have left before we actually close the pre-launch. Like I said before, there's a lot of benefits to getting in pre-launch that we're not going to actually talk about here, but when you go to step 6, and don't skip the other steps, by the way, it's really important, guys, that you actually see the entire process laid out. Like literally the first 5 steps take 45 minutes. That will put your marketing out there. You will literally be done with your marketing, at least the start of your marketing anyway. You can definitely go on to go and do more advanced things if you want to, but a lot of people that have made a lot of money here are literally only doing the marketing strategies inside of step 4 and step 5. So go through those 5 steps, and in the 6th step, we're going to show you what we introduced to our members just 2 days ago and show you how to really capitalize on this pre-launch, but also be able to earn more money for life within our company because you're an action taker. We love action takers. Why? Because we know that if you're willing to take an action, your life is going to be so much easier for us to help mold and change, right? That's really the bottom line. That's all there is to it. We know that people that take action are the people that actually see results. The people that are sitting on the sidelines, they, you know, should I get in? Should I get in? Should I get in? And when they get in, it's too late. And they're like, oh, this thing doesn't work. I didn't make money. Well, you didn't take action. You have to take action when you're in the right place at the right time. This is absolutely the right place, the right time. This is a paradigm shift. And the bottom line is this: 90 days are going to happen either way. The question is, are you going to look back 90 days from now and say, man, I'm so glad I made that decision to lock arms with this company because now my life is completely different. Now I actually have freedom in my life. Now I don't have to work a stupid job. Now I don't have to wake up for an alarm. Or are you going to look back and say, man, that peer of mine that was struggling in this other company, we were both making the same amount of money. They made a decision to get started. They're now making 10. I'm still losing $1,000 a month. You know, which scenario do you want to be in? Really, I mean, that's the question. You know, if you want to change in your life, you actually have to make the change first. You have to take the action steps needed. Like Jordan was talking about earlier with the law of attraction. You know, some people think they can just sit there and be like, Ferrari. It doesn't work like that, guys. You have to take action. So take action. Click the button down below. Get started in our community. Go through those 5 steps. Don't skip them because I know a lot of you guys are excited to get out of the 6th step. Don't skip the 5 steps. Go through those steps. Take 45 minutes. Get your marketing out there, and then learn how you can take your average customer value from $25 all the way up to literally thousands of dollars for every single customer that you bring in.
Yep.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and pop off here. We're going to do hangouts all throughout the rest of the week, both for members and for the public. So stay tuned into the Facebook group. Stay tuned into your email box, and we will talk to you soon, guys. Take care.
Awesome.
Good night.